Hey, it's Drybear. Every great RPG these days seems to have romance options for your character. Someone that you could woo and wine and dine and have various levels of intimacy with. And today we're going to talk about how you can romance one of the characters in Dragon's Dogma 2, Wilhelmina. Now, I'm not sure why she's the first romance completion that I did all the way through, since there are several in the game, possibly because I'm watching Apothecary Diaries right now and I had courtesans on the brain. But either way, in order to romance Wilhelmina, you'll want to raise your affinity with her. She resides inside the courtesan house, the pleasure house in Vernworth Castle, or next to Vernworth Castle in Vernworth. And as a reminder, you can raise affinity two different ways with characters, at least with your actions anyway. The first is going to be hailing, and this is something that a lot of people don't actually know, but when you hail a character, any character, you will actually raise their affinity for you. They don't really explain this anywhere, but if you just walk up to a character and hail them instead of talking to them, you'll raise affinity with that character. The other way is to give gifts to them. The easiest one for Wilhelmina is going to be the gift flowers, which you can combine in your inventory as a crafting option by finding any two kinds of flowers like Sunbloom and Moonglow, put them together, create a gift flower, and you can give it to her. Or if you have the pendant from the deluxe edition or from the MTX store, you can give it to her, and this should instantly max out her affinity. Now, when you first walk up to the pleasure house, the courtesan house in Vernworth, you won't be granted entry. You'll be asked to get a pass in order to enter. Now, you can sneak into the side, but Wilhelmina is going to be on the top floor where you don't have access to anyway. However, it's very likely that you will meet her in the process of the main story. There's going to be two different quests that you can encounter her for the first time on, and you might actually end up doing one before the other, and it might change the process of events just a little bit. The first one is going to be an unsettling encounter, and in this you'll get from Captain Brandt a chance to go into Allard's chambers, which is one of the ministers inside the castle, and see if you can find any details or juicy drama bits that you can use against him or against the Queen Regent Disa. Now, when you do sneak your way into the castle, you do want to make sure that you exit the Allard's chambers through the window and not through the main door. And this is because when you jump out the window, you will actually trigger a special romance scene with her where she rescues you from the guards and gives you a little pick on the lips. You'll have a short conversation with her, and it doesn't matter which option you pick here, she just shoos you away because she knows she can't be out there talking to you the entire time. And by the way, if you're wondering how to sneak into the castle at night, there's a million different ways. Stealth is kind of weird in this game. You don't actually have to be not seen by them. You just have to not get within range of them. And it's easier if you turn your lantern off and then just go around enemies that are in front of you. You can go in through the servant quarters right here. You can go in through the guard quarters right here, or you can go all the way around through the armory and climb through the castle this way. Either way, you can get inside and go up to the highest floor, which is going to be where the chambers are. Enter the chambers, and then when you get the letter for this quest, an unsettling encounter, just make sure you jump out the window instead of going out through the front door. The other quest is called Stolen Throne, and this is the one where you attend a masquerade, and so you need to acquire a courtly attire, like a courtly breeches and courtly vest, and you need to find an eventide mask. And there's actually like 7 different ways that you can get courtly attire. If you go up into the chambers upstairs, you'll find some in a chest inside multiple different bedrooms, including Sven's. You'll even find courtly clothes that you can pick up inside the masquerade building where you're supposed to go. If you go there outside of nighttime, like during the day, you'll find some in there. If you finish the quest line with Sven, where you do all of the quests and keep in touch with him, at the very end, he will give you courtly clothes. And some places even sell them if you want to pick them up. But you do need the courtly chest and the courtly breeches in order to do the masquerade, and you'll get the mask from Captain Brandt as well. Now, you can do these out of order, but this is the order that I would recommend doing them because you'll first encounter Wilhelmina in the castle courtyard, and then you'll encounter her again as having already met her going through the masquerade, and that's where you'll get some really cool interactions here. So when you try to escape the masquerade by chasing through, you'll actually encounter her at the top, and once again, she will save you and rescue you from being caught as part of that process while you're being chased. You'll have another moment to chat with her. Now, at this point, if you have max affinity with her and you've completed the previous 2 quests that we just talked about, an unsettling encounter and the stolen throne, you will be able to go up to Wilhelmina and talk to her to get the romance quest line from her, Every Rose Has Its Thorns. And after the first time you encounter her, she will give you a pass to get into the Rose Chateau, the pleasure house. So as long as you've talked to her and met her once, you should be able to go anywhere you want inside of it and go up to her bedroom, which is going to be on the top floor on the opposite side of the stairs. To start this quest, I recommend going to the Rose Chateau during the day. You'll go to Wilhelmina's room, realize that she's not actually there, and if you go into the back, towards the back hallway, you'll see a painting with an examine button that pops up when you get near. And when you peep inside, you will see that it's Allard and Wilhelmina together, where he is buying her services, but then she's very sharp. She recognizes your presence and shoos him out and then comes to talk to you. And in this moment, through conversation, she will reveal to you that she actually hates Allard, even though he uses her services quite often. And it's because she wants to unalive him at the earliest possibility. And when prompted and given the option to help her or try to dissuade her, you should definitely help her commit the muck duck. This is where you will get the quest, Every Rose Has Its Thorns, and she will give you some time before she tries to go violent to find evidence that will justify her taking out Allard. And at first, this quest line will actually have no direction, no marker on the map, no details. It just says, hey, you have a couple days to find evidence on him, but don't worry, you can get the next step of the quest by sneaking into the castle and talking to Sven, who at this point should always be in his chambers most hours, so just sneak in here and talk to him, and he will mention that he knows someone who might have some information on Allard that you can use to expose him. Next, your map will be marked with Patrick's Manor, and he tells you to go there at night and inform the guards that you are there under Sven's employ and you want to talk to Patrick. Once you head inside and talk to him, Patrick will say that he doesn't know a whole lot, but he has a simple hint in that you should check out the paintings inside of Allard's estate, and he agrees to help you by summoning Allard to his manor and saying, hey, you have like 15 minutes, I'll summon him over here to talk, and while he's gone, you can search his manor. As soon as you accept this quest, run straight to the quest marker on your map to enter Allard's manor, as you'll find him coming down the stairs. As soon as you trigger this quest, he starts walking over to Patrick's manor immediately, so don't let him see you. Just go behind the stairs or hide or jump over, or just let him pass. Keep your lantern off and then go past him to go into his manor. Go inside the manor and go to this area. You'll find a painting hung on the wall, and when you examine it, out will pop the murder report, which is a very damning piece of evidence against Allard. Once you have the murder report, head straight back to the Rose Chateau, talk to Wilhelmina, and tell her that you found the evidence and you're willing to help her to continue offering your aid, and at this point you will succeed in romancing her. Next, go into the other room where Allard is and use your right trigger if you're on controller to grab him and restrain him, and then view the cutscene where you find out, spoiler alert, Wilhelmina is actually half Beastren, shocker, drama, and Allard ended up unaliving both of her parents. The sounds of Allard screaming will alert the guards. You don't have to jump out the window with Wilhelmina and escape, and she suggests that you split up for the time being so you can escape. You're going to have guard aggro immediately whether you're stealth or not, so I recommend just running as far as you can, as fast as you can, and ignore fighting the guards, as it will just summon more guards. Pass 24 hours or stay in the inn and then head back to the Rose Chateau, where all the guards will forget your face for some reason. Then head inside, go upstairs, go to Wilhelmina's room and talk to her, and you will trigger the romance scene with Wilhelmina if you've done everything right up until this point. And as a bonus for completing all of the objectives for the romance quest, you will receive the Ring of Benevolence from this quest line, and then that concludes the romance with Wilhelmina. From rest on, you'll get little love letters from her at your residence, either in Batal or in Vernworth, and you can visit her and give her gifts and raise her affinity, which may have some minor impact in the cutscenes you see at the end of the game, but I will not be spoiling that for this video. And that's it. That's everything you need to know about romancing Wilhelmina in Dragon's Dogma. If you found value in today's video, leave a like down below, leave a comment for the algorithm to help this video get seen by more people, and don't forget to check out my other channels for other content and other stuff and other things.